Concept Guide to Holy Paladin Healing and Endgame. As with most of my videos, this is meant to get you started by giving you a jumping off point. From there, it will be up to you to continue developing your understanding of your class and adjusting to fit your playstyle. You may not need all the info provided, so I'll include time jumps to help you get back to playing quickly. Before getting into the rotation concepts, I'm going to briefly go over UI add-on info and general pre-pull buffs. Unit frame / user interface add-ons. There are many add-ons to choose from, and there's always a hot debate on the most optimal ones. Personally, I think add-ons are best used on a need-by-need basis. Too many can clutter your screen and become distracting. I still struggle to balance it. For healing, many healers like add-ons such as HealBot and Click, which allow you to set click casting macros to unit frames. HealBot is great as an all-in-one unit frame and click casting add-on. Click is better if you already use other unit frame add-ons, though it takes a little more work to set up. My personal favorite add-on is Weak Auras. This allows you to set up custom visuals for key buffs and abilities you want to stand out. The add-on has a pre-made aura template that makes it easy to set up whatever ability you want to better track. They also have a community on their website that makes interesting and niche weak auras that require more technical knowledge to set up. If you find yourself struggling to utilize buffs and CDs, this add-on is a game changer, at least for me. Pre-pull buffs. Paladins don't have much in the way of raid buffs this expansion, so the main thing you'll be bringing to the table is your aura. Devotion Aura is a safe choice to keep on most of the time, but you can swap to meet the needs of the moment or if there are other paladins in your group. Make sure to bring files to help increase your power, such as secondary stat files. Be sure to get your food buff as well, if possible. Philosophy. Before the fighting even begins, I like to ask myself these questions. What kind of content are you doing? What unique mechanics are being used in this content? What cooldowns are important for the content? What is my team's comp? We'll utilize these questions in the following sections. Dungeons. What kind of content are we doing? Since we're doing dungeon content, we'll be handling 1 tank, 3 DPS, and ourselves as the single healer. We're going to want to make sure our talent trees align with the group size. Raiding. With raiding, you'll commonly have team setups like 2 tanks, 5 DPS, and 3 healers. 2 tanks, 14 DPS, and 4 healers. There are other comp designs, but these are the most prevalent. You'll want to ensure your talent tree aligns with the larger group size, as well as consider what other healers are healing with you. What unique mechanics are being used by the boss or mobs? Dungeons. You'll need to consider what kind of damage is most common in the selected dungeon, as well as any dispellables. Is it dot heavy, cleave heavy, high single target burst? Knowing what's coming at you during a pull will help you prioritize which abilities to save for key moments and which abilities to use on cooldown. For example, I like to take Beacon of Virtue and Divine Toll's Quickened Invocation talent for quick group healing in AoE heavy dungeons as an extra oh shit button. Raids. Like dungeons, you also need to consider the type of damage and dispellables coming your way. Additionally, think about timed mechanics, like a single AoE burst or a single target burst. You may even be asked by your raid to take certain talents or fulfill specific mechanic roles, especially considering paladins have Divine Shield. One thing to note with raids, you may want to have multiple talent trees preset for different boss encounters if you want to min-max. What cooldowns are important for the content? Dungeons. If you're doing mythics past M0, make sure to read the current week's affixes so you can pick up specific talents to counter them. Examples include Turn Evil, Improved Cleanse, and Repentance versus Blinding Light. Key cooldowns like Beacon of Virtue and Blessing of Sacrifice are especially important. Beacon helps prevent chip damage from killing the team, and Sacrifice can stop enemies from one-shotting a player during mechanics. Raids. This varies based on the role you're filling in your healing team. In general, you'll want to use every CD, but be mindful of the weak spots of the other healer classes. For example, you might need to hold Aura Mastery for timed AoE mechanics if you don't have something like Preservation Evoker with Rewind. Oftentimes you'll have sufficient overlap on abilities between healers. Just make sure you're not all blowing cooldowns at the same time, so your team is prepared for the next phase. What is my team comp? Dungeons. This one can be trickier unless you've been playing WoW for a while. Many nameplate add-ons allow you to view your teammates' important CDs, which helps you learn them over time. When you understand your team's cooldowns, it helps when deciding who gets your CDs in a clutch moment. One last secret thing to consider: who gets to live and who dies. Every healer has been here, emergency triage mode, and not everyone's making it out. In a perfect world, we'd save everyone, but sometimes that one DPS refuses to use defensives, ignores mechanics, and it's between them or your top performer gliding through every mechanic. For the sake of the fight, the choice becomes pretty simple. Unfortunately, you'll inevitably get flamed by some room temperature IQ DPS with stuff like healers are useless. Just remember, you are not Jesus. You cannot save everyone from their own sins. As healers, we try to compensate for others' mistakes, but don't let the chirping get in your head. Learn from your mistakes, yes, but remember, not every death is your fault, and there is a hierarchy on who gets saved. Let's talk about our rotation. Since healing is a dynamic role, you don't have a set rotation. You'll be using spells based on the current situation as well as your imminent future. In dungeons, as stated in my previous Holy Paladin video, you want to constantly be generating holy power with Judgment, Holy Shock, Holy Light, and Flash of Light, and spending holy power on Word of Glory, Light of Dawn, and Shield of the Righteous. While you want to help with DPS to clear faster, don't fall into the DPS trap, getting locked into damage and missing healing windows. Your job is healing first. Set a low threshold for when you stop DPSing and focus on healing. If you're newer to endgame healing, it's totally fine to skip DPS and focus on learning damage types and dungeon mechanics. Routine use of Beacon of Virtue is key for trash pulls. It has a 15-second cooldown, so use it often. It makes team-wide healing much easier as everyone gets healed for a portion of your spells. Use Divine Toll whenever the team takes big damage. With the Season 2 tier set, you get it back faster. It generates a ton of holy power via multiple holy shocks, allowing for fast Word of Glory casts. Use it with Beacon of Virtue to maximize group healing. I like to use Divine Protection into Blessing of Sacrifice on the person taking the most damage or at risk of dying. You can also pop Aura Mastery with Devotion Aura to help mitigate group damage. I mainly save Avenging Wrath as an oh shit button when my throughput isn't enough. If you're not struggling, you can use it for damage too. In raids, you play similarly to dungeons, but you'll probably take Beacon of Light instead of Beacon of Virtue, depending on the fight. Raid builds sometimes lean into Tyr's Deliverance for stronger AoE healing. Personally, I like it because it increases healing throughput. I also run Merciful Auras instead of Blessing of Summer for the extra 20% healing, especially during group-wide damage. If you spec into Protection of Tyr, your team gets even more healing. Combine Aura Mastery with Tyr's Deliverance to quickly top people off. To sum it up, for dungeon healing, avoid having 2 stacks of Holy Shock. Use Judgment and Crusader Strike on CD. Use Flash of Light, Holy Light, and Judgment when Infusion of Light is active. Use Beacon of Virtue and Divine Toll for group damage. Dump Word of Glory as often as possible. Substitute with Shield of the Righteous if heals aren't needed. Use Aura Mastery to help soften damage. Use Avenging Wrath, Lay on Hands, Blessing of Protection, Divine Shield, and Divine Protection as emergency buttons. Use Blessing of Sacrifice on players about to take large hits. For raid healing, apply Beacon of Light to your tank. Beacon of Faith on a ranged target for mastery benefit. Avoid having 2 stacks of Holy Shock. Use Judgment and Crusader Strike on CD. Use Flash of Light, Holy Light, and Judgment with Infusion of Light. Dump into Word of Glory or Light of Dawn depending on the situation. Use Tyr's Deliverance and Aura Mastery to handle large AoE damage. Use Avenging Wrath, Lay on Hands, Blessing of Protection, Divine Shield, and Divine Protection as oh shit buttons. Use Blessing of Sacrifice on players taking heavy damage. Thank you for watching. Let me know if I missed the mark on anything or if there is any other WoW related content you would like to see.